Cute. Oh my God.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome.
Hey,
Today is, I know, I do this every time I
No, you're
host. I'm
good.
like, do I talk? Do you talk? Today is June 23rd, and we are talking about mentorship and why it matters for growing careers, confidence, and community. We have Miss India Brown with us tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, super excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am India Brown. I am the actual board chair for Pass the Torch for Women, which is a mentoring institution that where we support women in all aspects of life, in all spaces that their journey takes them. Aside from being the board chair, where I volunteer to support to do that, to spend my time, I am an entrepreneur full time. I own a project management consulting firm called PM Phase. We focus on IT implementation, software application. We also focus on workforce development and training. I have been a project manager for the majority of my career, and I just decided I'm going to leave corporate America and I'm going to just start jumping out here and doing some things on my own. And it's been amazing, been amazing.
Awesome. We love that
I've never
here.
heard of Pass the Torch. Is there a website we can direct people to?
It is. It's passthetorchforwomen.org, www. And they can go on and they can see all the things that we offer in terms of mentoring. We have different levels from our developing leaders to our developing professionals and what we call legacy leaders. Those are the leaders that are in the community that we've basically spoken with and created relationships with so that they can be mentors to the up and coming women that are going either into the workforce or becoming entrepreneurs. So our legacy leaders are the ones that have the years of experience, they've traveled the journey, and they're sharing their knowledge and expertise with the mentees that come in as developing leaders and developing professionals. We also have a college level where we call those our Project Grow young adults. So they are typically seniors in college. So they're about to go into the workforce and they are looking for someone to support them, not only as they go out there and get what I like to tell my daughter, her big girl job, that they're out there, they're being supported and making sure that they're able to ask for all the right things, whether it's I'm trying to navigate to get in and how does my resume look? What do I need to do? How do I present myself? How do I show up? So our Project Grow students span across the different colleges across Indiana. So we're so proud of that program because it's the one place where you truly feel like you're giving back to that next person that's going to travel a journey.
Very cool. And that's kind of how it all got started, right? Was
Yes.
working with the college students. Okay.
Working with the college students. Yep. They were the foundation of the program. And so our legacy leaders would work specifically with college students or entry level corporate young adult women that were into the space already. So they've graduated. Now they're at their job. And then it was kind of focused on helping them to navigate through the space. But the foundation of it was let's catch them in college and on their way out.
Awesome. So one of the things that we want to go into to start with tonight is what mentorship really means. And I think, starting with those collegiate level mentorees and working your way up, what does it mean, the word mentorship?
Well, I think, asking in my number of years from being a mentor and also a mentee early on, it really means support. It's to also help streamline all of the thoughts and ideas that a person has, but doesn't really know how to correlate them to actually put together an action plan and make it happen. So setting up those goals, setting up what is it that you want to try to get accomplished, and how can I support you doing that? Or this is what support looks like doing that once the relationship is established. So it's really creating a safe space for two people to really come together, because mentors don't just mentor; they're also getting a little bit of that back in return. So it's a space where they're sharing. So mentoring to me just means you show up, you get the support, we give you all the tools that you need and the resources and the access. We put you into the rooms where you need to be so that you can potentially find the success that you're looking for.
Very nice. Um, that being said, there's a lot of terms I think that can be thrown around, and I don't know if they're necessarily interchangeable, but the difference between like mentoring, coaching, sponsoring, I mean, do you consider all of those kind of the same thing, or do they have different aspects to it?
They do have different aspects to it. I get asked that a lot because I am a mentor. I am not a coach. People say that I am a coach, but the difference that I try to describe between mentor, coaching, and sponsorship and sponsors, a mentor is going to already have a roadmap that they've traveled, right? They are the ones that, when this mentee comes into the space, it's because they're looking for a specific thing that they want to get accomplished. And the mentor has been that space. They've been in that space. So they're there to help that mentee or that person, to be able to take their own ideas, their goals, their objective, see what it is that they can map out, and then map those things out together. So this was my road, this was my journey. Here's where you're trying to be. Let me help you not have to take maybe the exact journey, or if I had challenges, here's where my challenges were. So really it's the mentoring is there where the plan's already kind of established and this person wants to come into the space and understand how it gets done. Coaching, and again, these are all of my defined definitions when I talk to people. Coaching is the person who wants to have a coach, whether it's a life coach, health coach, dietary coach. The coach basically says, you write the plan, and I'm going to walk you through how to get to it. You write out everything that you want to do. What do you want to accomplish? What is it that you're trying to get to? And I'm not going to tell you my journey. I'm going to let you walk your journey, but I'm going to walk alongside and hold you accountable for it. Mentors hold people accountable, but again, the coach is there to encourage and to support, and a plan that's already established by the person who's coming to them to say, this is what I think I want to do. How do I get that done? Well, let's talk about how you get that done. Okay, these are things you should look at. These are the options that you want to focus on. And I'm just going to be here in the background to help push you along the way. And not that coaches can't be mentors. They definitely, the person can have that dual skill set. The descriptions are absolutely independent. You can be a mentor, and this is what the expectations are, and you can be a coach, and this is what the expectations are. So I always say that I'm a mentor because I think when a person comes into specifically my space, I need them to have a plan. I need you to already know this is what, or some version of what it is that you want to try to get accomplished. And then I'm going to share my journey with you, and we're going to see where these two pieces intertwine. And I'm going to mentor you along the way to get you there. The coach is going to say, you've got a plan. Let's get together, and I'm going to walk you through what you need to do. And I'm going to help make sure you stay accountable to the action items that you have listed in your plan. I'm going to make sure you do all of that all along the way. The sponsor, that's the person, and I've had several sponsors when I worked in corporate America. that really does champion for you when they know you are doing an amazing job at your job, are doing amazing work at your job. You have taken the initiative, you have done all the things to get promoted, to get pay raises. That sponsor is going to speak your name when it's time to get the next promotion, when it's time for a management track opportunity to come up, when it's time for a role that they're looking for someone with a special skill set or a direct skill set. That sponsor is going to say, I've got a person. I'm going to talk to you about India because this is what she's doing. And this is how the next level of her career looks. And I want to support her while she does that. And I'm not in the room. So the sponsor is your champion. And you can have a sponsor in any space. In the business world as an entrepreneur, I've met several sponsors who refer projects to me. There's a person, I like to say, I like to be Indianapolis's go-to project management company. And I have sponsors in the space that know me and know my work that will speak on my behalf. So sponsors are those people, they're constantly championing for you, no matter whether you're in the room or not. I hope that helped.
No, that really helped. I love that you took all three and really broke down like what they mean and what they apply to, because I guess I never considered it from that point of view, the difference between the three. But so as you know, we're the women of FWA. So many of our listeners actually work in the fence industry, manufacturing, installation operations, lots of leadership roles, but a lot of support roles as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what unique challenges do women face in skilled trades specifically, or traditionally male-dominated industries?
And that's a great one too, because I work in IT and I work in healthcare IT. So I work with a lot of architects, engineers, developers, and the majority of them are all male. So I can't imagine in the space that the women that are in your industry, how they have to also face that same challenge. One of the things I think as women in a male-dominated industry face is what I like to call their version of knowledge check. How well do you know what you think you know? And you're constantly getting challenged for not just, I'm here, I'm sitting at the table with you, but you're getting challenged with the fact that should you be at the table, you don't get the men, they don't get the same questions that we get when we're in a room and we're trying to direct or facilitate a meeting, or we're trying to give, maybe specs on something or talk about something within our space. The questions are more aligned to, well, are you sure this is what we need to do? Have you checked this? Are you sure? So those are what I like to call knowledge checks. Whereas the male version of me, they're going to give that same information and the guys are going to go, good job. That's great. We got it. Let's move on. What's the next thing? I find the challenge is we then try to explain ourselves. So what I've learned over the years is I'm not going to explain it. Did you hear what I said? So go ahead and take that information and move on. And that's always my advice to all women who work in a space where men are the majority, because we are there also. And we didn't just so happen to get here. We're here because of the skill sets, right? So you're not going to challenge me with the questions that have the back end messages. So that is one of the things that I've, kind of one of the challenges that I've faced. And with mentoring, it allows me to feel secure in the fact that I can say, I'm not going to answer that question. Am I ready is not a question when I just gave you all the information to show you that I was ready. So having someone say to me, no is no, and we've all heard that. No is a sentence, period, end of discussion. Or I've said the statement, I've given you all the information. To ask me a question in return as if it's in doubt what I've said, I do not at all recommend anyone try to what I like to call don't mansplain and don't womansplain.
No, I agree with you completely, Lisa. Like, I feel like you and we both have a lot of confidence in our spaces because you grew up in it and I've done it for many years. So like, no is not a hard word. Yes. But I struggle with probably maybe imposter syndrome. How about you, Lisa?
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. I mean, so India, I know you don't know my backstory. My degree is in music education, and here I am in, gate automation manufacturing and things of that nature. And even as confident as I am, and it's gotten better over the last 6.5 years that I've been here, but as confident as I am to be able to talk about our product and be in this space, there's still those times where, I'll be talking about something and I'm like, is this even me speaking right now? Who is this person? Like, she kind of knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And it still hits me sometimes where I'm like, okay, I do know what I'm supposed to do here. I do have the confidence and the ability to be able to do this. I am supposed to be here. But sometimes, it takes a minute for that to set in. So, Susan, yeah, the imposter syndrome, even after being here, is still very real and present. And I think that's one of the things about mentoring. Like, should I ever get, a mentor or a coach, that would be something that I would need the work on there is, having that imposter syndrome, and how do you walk into a room and just, this is what I have, this is what I'm presenting, and here you go.
And you're done. Yeah, no, I did have that, I think, early on. So my mentor helped me to find the gaps that created the imposter syndrome for me. So working in IT, there's a language difference with how you translate, the common words from the developer to the client, and that gap was hard for me. So I'd be having conversations unsure if I'm saying the right thing. So I studied really hard. We worked together to identify the thing I wanted to really build up, that when I would sit in a meeting and I didn't have the words because I wasn't sure if I was having the right conversation, she's like, oh, okay. And that's where, the people in the room start to think, oh, well, does she know what she's saying? So the imposter syndrome would be there. I'm a great project manager. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know all of the tools. This is an area where I'm like, oh, it's a little off for me. Let me study that. So she just helped me to close the gap, because then it would build up my confidence to have these conversations. But absolutely, imposter syndrome is so scary, and I wish it wasn't a thing. But I think it shows up in more than just your workplace. It could show up with family. It could show up in spaces where you enter to and you're just like, am I supposed to be here? When you are, you are supposed to be there.
No, I agree. I love that, it's a term that was finally created, because it didn't exist 10 years ago. Like, nobody said that.
No.
But I definitely firmly believe in mentors. I have different mentors for different segments of my life. They had to fit that kind of like, there's no one Band-Aid to solve all the problems, right?
Yes,
so like this is my social media mentor. This is my, business mentor. This is my, how am I going to organize it all, because I don't have that gene, or whatever the case might be. But I know there are a lot of people out there who are looking for mentors. Like, what are some of the questions you ask yourself to start heading in that direction, right? Like, I have people who reach out to me all the time who say, hey, I would like you to start a mentorship program within the Women of FWA, or I'm looking for a mentor, or I'm new. And I'm just like, I don't even know where to direct them next, or the questions to have them ask themselves, are you actually ready for that?
So I always say, because I get this a lot too, and the whole Pass the Torch group gets this whenever people approach us about mentoring. The number one thing is time. We created a program where I think a lot of people who are looking for mentors, they don't realize the time commitment that they might need to put into that. You're asking for someone to give their time to you. Are you ready to give your time back? To support your basically success, and to create and cultivate that relationship. So one of the things we say at Pass the Torch, we ask for just an hour a month, right? 1 hour, start with 1 hour, meet with this person, either in person or virtually, whatever works for the two of you, 1 hour. And then the next month, maybe by the time you guys are 2 or 3 months in, it extends beyond that. But if we create a baseline of just that first hour, give your time for 1 hour a month. And I think what happens is people are like, oh, I can do that, because they think of mentoring and the mentee pair. Oh, we've got to spend like hours. I got to reach out to this person every week. I've got to do this with them. I got to check in on them. Now, those are things that, yes, we do want you to do. But I think the most important thing is to establish the relationship and to maybe create some boundaries and to create set some expectations for the two people, we always start with 1 hour, and we only ever ask for 1 hour a month. But we find that people evolve into more than 1 hour a month, texting maybe once a week, or going for coffee more than just that one time they've met in the month. So I think it's time. Ask the person who's looking for a mentor has to say, do I have the time to commit to this? And if you can't commit 1 hour, then you really aren't ready. The second thing I always say is, what do you need a mentor for? Because tons of people say they need mentors, and it's okay. But I mean, I think, like you said, you can have a mentor in every space. I have a personal mentor and I have a business mentor. And I don't mix the two, but I think one of the things is identifying, how do you know you need a mentor versus if you need a coach versus if you just need a therapist. So we can't leave that person out, because I think that relationship, if there's challenges more than what a mentor can really support you with, then you might want to move into the therapy role. You know what I mean? And then you get a mentor to help support your therapy choices. So you have to ask yourself, what am I looking for? And a couple of the examples I'll tell you real quick is, when you ask yourself that question, the first one is, what do I want to do? Am I trying to advance in my career? Am I trying to build out, a portfolio for myself that looks like this? And I really don't know how to do that. I can't really, I know some pieces of it because I'm working in corporate America, but I can't build a roadmap because I don't know what the roadmap looks like. Then you might need a mentor. You might need someone to come in and say, okay, here's what mine looks like. Let me fill in some of the gaps for you and help you build out a roadmap. The other question is, do I want to be a listener in this relationship? Because if you aren't going to be open to taking that constructive feedback, or to taking that honesty that that person's there in this relationship with you, if that's not the goal, then maybe it's not a mentor that you need. Maybe you're not ready. And I have had people that are not ready for mentors. But I always say, well, try a coach first. A coach will help you maybe understand why you're not really receiving things from people. Maybe there's, and obviously maybe personality differences, but mentors, I think, get into these relationships where people say they want a mentor, and then it's like, well, I already did that. I don't need that. I don't need that kind of, support. I don't need this. And it's like, well, you should ask yourself before you got into this relationship. So just a few questions.
That's a solid point too, because there's people who, even if they do want a mentor, their personality, they kind of hear it as criticism almost, and then they shut down, and then they don't want to listen. And so, it's good to know that maybe it's not for you. And like you said, maybe getting a coach instead first is the right path to go. But at what point then, let's flip the switch here. At what point should somebody consider becoming a mentor themselves? I know we're getting a little low on time here, just because, you have the dynamic of, well, do I need a mentor? Am I going to listen to a mentor? How do you know if you are in the position to be a mentor for somebody else?
And I'll say this, I think everyone's in a position where they can be a mentor for someone else. It's just at the space where you meet that person where they are. We have legacy leaders, developing professionals, developing leaders, and Project Grow. Each of them can mentor the one below them, right? So our developing leaders who just joined the workforce can support a college student who's just now getting into it because they've already traveled that journey. So college students can support high school kids. You're coming out of high school and coming into college. I think when people think about if they can be a mentor, again, it's what is it that you feel like you've journeyed through that you can share with someone else. If you've got that story to share and you're open to sharing it, and you're able to support a person through the journey that they may take, you are capable of being a mentor. We do have training, though. We kind of walk you through and give you some of the steps that pass the torch so that you're not doing it blindly. But I do think everyone that has gone through and had a journey is capable of being a mentor.
Girl, I love you so much. Like, You're so well spoken. Like, you made it clear and direct. There was no confusion in like your explanation of anything. I love this so much. Like, I want you to come back on. I want to do a deep dive on something very specific that you're passionate about that'll translate to our industry. Like, I think you're amazing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
That being said, we like to end every episode with what we call rapid fire.
Okay. Uh-oh.
And it's just the first question that comes to your head. Some of them are silly, some of them are serious.
Okay.
You want to go first, Lisa, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. Really serious question here. Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Are you late night or early morning?
Late night. Hate mornings.
Yeah. This one is a little bit more serious, but real quick, best career advice you've ever received?
Let them know who you are when you enter the room. So I walk in the room like I already know who's in here. Let them know who you are when you enter the room. So, and it was good.
That.
You just let them know, hey, I'm here, and walk in. I'm here.
I do too. I really love that. What is one leadership quality every woman should develop?
Emotional intelligence. Yes, I did not. Yes, emotional intelligence. Everybody's not the same, and you cannot treat them the same. And as a leader, it is our responsibility to know that.
Wow, that's all right. Following that up with, what's a book, a podcast, or a resource that you would recommend?
Oh my gosh. Oh goodness.
I mean, besides the Women of FWA podcast.
Exactly. That's a great one. Oh my gosh. You know, that's so hard. I read a lot of John Maxwell leadership books. I would recommend, if you can't afford the course, go buy the books. It teaches everything from how to have common, relationships, conversations, to how to be the best leader and speaking and in all the spaces. Like, he does it from A to Z. I love John Maxwell. So I've read all of his books, and I have them mostly on audio. So if you're trying to be a leader in the space, I would definitely look at him.
A little sidebar on that. Have you taken his classes, or just
I have not?
Books?
I always say, okay, when I become an adult, I'm going to take those classes when I grow up.
Wow. So I have one final question for you. If you could leave our listeners with one message about mentorship and professional growth, what would it be?
We all need one. We all need support. We all need someone that we can express ourselves with without feeling judged, guilty, or like we don't belong. I would say make sure you find someone in your space who can give you all of those things. A safe space with your mentor means that you can be who you are no matter what.
Girl, goosebumps again. Lisa, you're always in charge from here on out. I'm going to leave your website right here for everybody to check it out.
Awesome.
Is there anything you would like to? I'm gonna let Lisa close the show.
No, this was amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me. I love mentoring. So talking about it is a great passion of mine. Thank you so much for allowing me to do it.
Thank you for coming on the show. And if you're interested in more information, please go check out passthetorchforwomen.org. Like I said, I've had a conversation now with Christy, and now had a conversation with you on the show today. Just from the two of you alone, really, really great group of women. So for those of you in the fencing industry, if you are looking for mentorship, even though maybe it's outside of the industry itself, but that's not always a bad thing either, go check them out. And for anybody else watching that's not in the fencing industry, go check them out. But thank you so much for coming on the show today. This has been really wonderful hearing you speak. Like Susan said, very well spoken, very knowledgeable, and very helpful about, looking on whether it's coaching or mentoring or sponsoring, things of that nature. Just very informative. I know it cleared up a lot of things on my end because I was clueless. So
Good, 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 good. I like little nuggets. As long as people can take something away, I love that. I appreciate it again that you ladies had me on. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Next week, you guys. See you then.
All right.